What up, guys, and welcome to the show. What I've got for you today is a battle archer using BURNREND. Now, BURNREND is a clickbaity sounding name that I've customized my iron bow with. But basically, one thing I try to keep in mind with all my builds on my channel is fun. Everything related to fun. So if you're used to modern games with a little bit more dimension to their combat, well, this build might be for you. So stick around and check it out. It's challenging, multi-dimensional, low upkeep for resources, actually doesn't require mana at all, which is super unique for a build like this, and it's super fast. And what I mean by fast, I mean it moves fast. So before I fly right into the guide, I'd like to start by introducing a few of the items that I jotted down prior to making this video. Number one, the build is challenging. It allows you to set your own difficulty by raising and lowering your magic resist and your armor rating. I'm still kind of working it out, but I chose to go with 70 magic resist and full Daedric armor. Another key element to this build is that many monsters are actually immune to the poisons we plan to use, such as elementals, full immunity to poisons. Skeletons, ghost, same thing. Another thing this build is going to require is massive amounts of duping. It's actually not that much upkeep because everything is so light, so you can dupe it in massive quantities, but if duping isn't your thing, then this video is not for you. My justification on duping is that it enables this playstyle, which is actually super fun. So I didn't want to limit myself and restrict the amount of fun I could possibly have. So far, I'm having a really good time with it. There's no mana requirements, it's super fast, now let's get into it. Alright, so starting off first, the best race in the game, BURNREND. It's got magic resist, it's got some mana. You pick the mage, it's got some extra mana. Realistically though, you can pick anything you want. So this build was played on level 34. Let's check out the inventory. Alright, so first things first, we've got the Arrow of Brilliance. I found this somewhere, I don't know if it's unique, I don't know if you can get better ones, but this is the one I found, and it's got 12 points of fire damage. The way that elemental damage works in this game is it can be scaled ridiculously high with weakness curse effects. So I decided to rip off Chillrend, a famous weapon in this game, and made a custom crafted weapon called BURNREND. So as you can see, multiple consecutive shots does ramping damage. So it's got Soul Trap, and that's just to keep this thing fueled. You can see it only has 19 uses before it runs out. That's 19 arrows. So basically, weakness to fire is next, and then weakness to magic finally. And that weakness, it keeps multiplying. So basically, if you want crazy damage, this is how you do it. Just the 12 damage alone from this is more than your weapon would deal. Alright, so looking at the gear, I didn't want to min-max and just go balls to the walls here and get full resist and all that stuff. So I limited myself a little bit. You can see from the armor and everything like that, I've got 57 armor, and that's going to be what I just operate at. I don't want to get up to 85 armor because, I mean, that's armor cap, but I don't want to be too strong. So I'm limiting myself there. So on top of the 50% magic resist I have at base for being Brenton, I'm using this amulet to give me a little bit more safety around those spells because Master still does crazy amounts of damage. I've got full Daedric armor stacked out in Fortify Magicka. Realistically though, this could be Fortify Speed. And then looking at the rings, I've just got a ring that gives me speed and some athletics. I've got a ring that gives me resistance to paralyze 100%, poison, disease, all that stuff. So just kind of removes some of the annoying elements in the game. So this is meant to be a really quick build guide. So let's get right into the Hotkey Wheel. We've got a Feather Restore potion here. We've got a buff speed, buff willpower potion. We've got two different poisons, one that silences and one that paralyzes. We've got our Infinite Soul Gem, our Azura's Star. We've got a Soul Trap spell that also does trips damage, and we've got Fortify Acrobatics, just so we can jump high. Also, just on the action bar, I put a Voracious Hunger, just because if I summon it and my Soul Gem is empty, I can just double cast it on this guy. So that's how the build works. Now let's take a look at the potions. But this is the duping method that I've found, and it has the least number of inputs. Basically, you drag a stack of anything into a container, say 100 lockpicks. It'll ask for the amount selected, you select the max amount, but it won't transfer the item. That's strange. Now go over to the thing you want 100 of, and shift-click it over. Boom. Now it moves it over, but it still remembers the 100 quantity you had before, except now it's 100 of whatever you want. Duped. What a great feature. I've got a buff speed, buff willpower. So basically these stack, right? So I could drink 10 of them and I'll have 400 extra speed or 380 extra speed. And then I'll have ass loads of extra willpower too. So this is obviously a very strong potion. And you could see I tried to get it down to 0.1 pounds, but the weight units I could only get down to 0.3. So unfortunately, it's a little bit heavy right now. Now let's take a quick look at the poisons. So we've got a fire, cold, damage, health poison, so triple damage, but effectively the fire damage is going to do the most damage. You're going to find a lot of the enemies in this game die from just one shot. Many of them die from 2 shots if the second one is poisoned and the first one isn't, for the weakness stacking. But the other thing to mention about poisons is it snapshots the enemy weakness and applies that damage throughout the full duration. So even if you just shoot someone twice with it, they're going to have that super multiplier on there for that fire damage to tick for 33 seconds. It's almost a guaranteed death sentence to 2-shot these guys. Now you might say to yourself, 8 damage, well that doesn't seem like very much. Well, remember that poisons don't get diminished by master difficulty. That's right, poisons are unaffected by difficulty sliders, so it does the same damage all the time, basically ignoring hard mode, making poisons super effective at dealing high damage. Shoot 5 people, just run around, kite them around with your massive speed, and they'll die over time. It's great. So the last thing to show you is the Soul Trap spell. And why would we have this on a battle archer, you might ask? Well, the only way to really do damage with this character is by poisons. And a lot of things in the game are immune to poison. Elementals, skeletons, ghosts, and this is where the gameplay becomes multi-dimensional. You're not just going to be doing your bow the whole time. You're a battle archer. You have to touch people sometimes, and that's what this spell's for. So when you get one of those pesky dudes that are immune to poisons, just use this instead. Well, that's the build guide, guys. There's nothing to it. Scuff it together if you'd like. For the most part... Christ. Alright, let's see one poison here. One poison. What's up? What's up? One poison. One poison. Yeah, that'll do it, right? Little bitch. What? Level my armor. Come on, level my armor. Yeah, there it is. Dumbass. Okay. Well, that's the build guide, guys. There's nothing to it. Battle archer using destruction magic. And honestly, you don't need to level marksman. It's all elemental damage anyways. You can scuff this thing together. You don't need perfect gear, but you can play it on master at any level, and it goes all the way up to level 34 at least. I'm going to continue playing this one as I conquer this game. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, I want to know where the hell